Good evening, everyone. I'm sharing the screen now. First of all, thank you, Atul sir, for giving us such an opportunity. We have never got such an opportunity to talk about the logistics sector because...
Oh no, we are thankful, Raki. We are so interested because you guys will enlighten us today, and after today, all of us will be able to take informed decision about logistic industry, trading and investing. So we are truly thankful to you and Sumit for this.
Moreover, sir, we are not aware of the fact that how much this information will help you for the trading part. But yes, the gray areas which were not reflected anywhere in Google or any relevant published information, that we can help you out with. So I'll be starting with the PPT, which I prepared just for this section. The logistics sector in India, definitely it's a huge sector. It's $215 billion sector in India. But the point is that out of $215 billion sector, only 10 to 15% of the sector is being organized sector. Rest 85%, if we talk about, it's being an unorganized sector. It's run by the unorganized player of the market. The relevance for this is that's why this sector is being so undermined till now. Now, Sumit will tell you the other relevance about this sector.
Good evening, everyone. So इसे ऐसे समझते हैं, 10 से 15% क्या है? 10 से 15% वेयर हाउसेज हैं, शिपिंग है, रेलवेज हैं, एयरवेज हैं एंड पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट है, जो कि ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में आते हैं. रेस्ट जो रह जाता है वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर आ जाता है, जहाँ पे बसेस हैं, आपका फ्लीट ऑनर्स हैं, कमर्शियल व्हीकल्स ऑनर्स हैं, इवन टैक्सीज हैं. तो ये जो है अनऑर्गेनाइज है अभी, बट ये धीरे धीरे डेवलप हो रहा है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज.
Just a second, it's not allowing me to move my slide further. Sorry. Next, we'll talk about how transport sector is being interlinked with the economic development of India. That's where our relevance actually is there, because now this sector is being considered as a backbone for the economy. Why we say backbone for the economy? Whatever bread, butter, and everything we are getting at our households, this is just because of thanks to the transport sector, which is being providing all of these things to our doorsteps. And moreover, this transport sector, the development of the transport sector has increased the market for every producing unit. First of all, when transport sector was not developed, we know the history. We were just selling the products where they're being manufactured. But then with the development of the transport sector, our market widened up and we have globalized our market. Now, if we talk about the global market for this sector, it is being 4 trillion worldwide. And for the surprise for everyone, this is the 13% of the Indian GDP share. The logistic industry is sharing 13% of the Indian total GDP. Then again, but the question is the same: 250 billion, unorganized, where to go? If we move further, if we talk about how this logistics sector actually works, like any other sector, we'll say the logistics sector works on demand and supply. Now, here, what is being consisted in this logistics sector? The company implements control the movement, storage, everything. Now, where the good is being produced till the good reaches the final consumer. जो भी चीजें बीच में आती हैं, whether it is storage, it is warehouse, everything is is included in this logistics sector. Now that if a company is running एक normal transport company और logistics solutions में यही फर्क होता है कि normal transport company सिर्फ आपको trucks देती है या आपको supply chain देती है. But if a company is calling themselves a logistics solution, they provide you warehouses, storage, everything from the manufacturing to the final destination. Everything is being taken care by the logistic companies. Now, the proper supply chain includes shipping, receiving, storage, management, everything of the goods. Rest Sumit will tell you about it.
इसको थोड़ा सिंपल करते हैं. ट्रांसपोर्टर्स अगर मैं एक लेमैन की भाषा में समझाऊं तो 3 तरीके के हैं. एक तो है फ्लीट ऑनर्स, जो कि व्हीकल सप्लाई करते हैं। सेकेंडली आ जाते हैं बुकिंग ऑफिसेस, जहाँ पे आपको सप्लाई मिलती है गुड्स की, मैन्युफैक्चरर से इनका टाई अप रहता है। थर्ड आ जाते हैं कमीशन एजेंट, जो कि अब धीरे धीरे कम होते जा रहे हैं। कमीशन एजेंट इन दोनों के बीच में एक ब्रिज का काम करते हैं। अब अगर मैं बात करूं एक ट्रक ऑनर की या एक ट्रक की, तो वो थाउजेंड ऑफ वर्कर्स को या थाउजेंड ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज को फीड कर रहा है। जैसे कि अगर मैं एग्जांपल दूं, तो यहाँ पे अगर मैं बात करूं ट्रक की, तो ट्रक में हमारे टाटा मोटर्स आ जाता है, आइशर मोटर आ जाता है, फोर्स इंडिया आ जाता है, अशोक लीलैंड आ जाता है। ऐसे ही टायर इंडस्ट्री है, एमआरएफ, अपोलो टायर, ग्लास में असाई ग्लास आ जाता है, फ्यूल में एचपीसीएल, बीपीसीएल, ओएनजीसी। ऐसे ही सेपरेट क्यूमिक्स है, शेल है, मोबिल है। ये सारी इंडस्ट्री कहीं ना कहीं कनेक्ट करती हैं लॉजिस्टिक्स को, ट्रक ऑनर्स को। इसके साथ साथ जो ट्रक ऑनर्स हैं या एक ट्रक है, वो फीड करता है गवर्नमेंट को भी। जैसे कि आरटीओ ऑफिस हैं या इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर है, जहाँ पे आप अगर देखेंगे लिस्टेड हमारे यहाँ पे एचडीएफसी है और न्यू इंडिया है। इसके अलावा टोल टैक्स आ जाते हैं, एमसीडी टैक्स आ जाते हैं, मोर ओवर ग्रीन टैक्स आ जाते हैं, जो कि ये पे करते हैं कहीं ना कहीं इनके अगर मैं बात करूं एक ट्रांसपोर्टर के ऊपर, तो हर तरीके का बर्डन आता है जब ये व्हीकल रोड्स पे होते हैं। राखी, over to you.
Now, talking about the principles on this logistic works, our logistic industry basically work on 7 hours. इसे 7 hours हर तरीके की इंडस्ट्री के कुछ रूल्स होते हैं। हमारे लिए ये 7 hours हमारे लिए हमेशा रेलिवेंट है। इनमें से एक भी आवर अगर हमारा डिस्टर्ब होता है, then it can ruin all the earned revenue for us. We can say right product, right quantity, right condition, right place, right time, right customer, and right price. Nowadays, it's not that the logistics are dealing with B2C approach. Now here we are saying that logistics right now is majorly dealing, if you talk about the big logistic companies, they are dealing with B2B approach, where they are getting the direct contracts from the companies like FMCG company. You can take Dabur is there, HUL is there. Now, when we are dealing with such an organized companies, then we have to keep all the blend of the 7 hours to be very, very appropriate. Now, if you talk about, I was working with a company which was having a contract from all these FMCG companies like Dabur, HUL, and other FMCGs were also, ITC were also there, for which we were working. Now, these are very smart people. They sign a contract with the transporters, and in a straightest way, transporters also sign the contract. And the basic things we now when the HR team sits with the for the quotation part, the bidding occurs, online biddings are there, and we set the right amount of money which we have to charge. Now here, the contingency part, somewhere we skip the contingency part. If we take an example, I'm telling you, I was working with a company, logistic companies, which was dealing with HUL. So what we did, I can quote the example, sir, if with your permission.
Yes, sir. मैम, आपका शो है, आप जो शेयर करना चाहें मेंबर्स के बेनिफिट के लिए, प्लीज।
वहां पर जब हम काम कर रहे थे, तो हमने कोटेशन दिया, हमने प्रॉपर प्राइसिंग किया, सब कुछ किया, बट एक चीज हम भूल गए कि यहाँ पर कंटीजेंसीज भी आ सकती है। तो व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड वर्किंग, तो 1-1.5 साल वी गॉट अ गुड रेवेन्यू आउट ऑफ दिस कंपनी, एंड देन a series of hijacks started with the company.
Oh.
Goods used to leave the warehouse and it used to get hijacked. And it became a casual pattern, and the smart people, HUL people, have never insured their goods, and they have shifted the liability to the transporter, where transporter has to bear the large expense. And by and by, this pattern continued for 2 years. And then when we worked out for the revenue for last 3 years, I told, sir, if we go through this contract, we are 3 CR debit from HUL. Why? Because sometimes the delivery was not on time, so we were penalized. Sometimes the goods were damaged, then we were penalized. The hijack part was there, then we were penalized. I just quoted the example to tell you the relevance where these 7 hours stand for our industry.
Wow.
Moreover, I put another example of one of the renowned transporter. मैं उसका नाम नहीं लूंगा, बट जो कि मारुति उद्योग के लिए काम कर रहे थे, और मारुति उद्योग के लिए एक स्पेशल व्हीकल होता है जो कि अलग से कस्टमाइज कराया जाता है। आपने देखा होगा, बिग ट्रॉलर्स होते हैं वो। तो हुआ क्या कि उनका एक व्हीकल एक लॉट लेके जा रहा था, उनके ड्राइवर ने वो लॉट अपने घर के पास पार्क किया और उसमें से एक उन्होंने गाड़ी वहां से निकाल ली, जो कि उस ड्राइवर को भी नहीं पता था। अभी वो प्री लॉन्च होनी थी, जो कि एक्सपोज हो गई, और वो कहीं पे उसको अपने ही विलेज एरिया में ड्राइव कर रहा था और कहीं वो मिसहैप हुआ और उस गाड़ी में आग लग गई, जो कि वो न्यूज में भी आया। उस ट्रांसपोर्टर का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इमीडिएटली बंद कर दिया गया, इवन वो मारुति हेड तक भी गया, बट उसको इमीडिएटली वहां से हटा दिया गया। अब उसका इम्पैक्ट क्या था, उसके जो व्हीकल्स थे वो होल्ड पे हो गए, और वो कस्टमाइज थे कि उन्हीं तरह के व्हीकल को लेके जा सकते हैं। तो उसको काफी कॉम्प्रोमाइज प्राइजेस में वो व्हीकल हटाने भी पड़े, और उसको काफी लॉस हुआ। तो राइट कंडीशन यहाँ काफी मैटर करती है।
So what are the factors on which this logistic company works? A very casual thing. We have all studied every company works on internal and external factors. Internal factors are the style of management, how our HR is working, how our accounts department is working. That is, every company has a different style of working, and that is into their control. But the factors, external factors, which play a huge role in this industry, are out of our hands. Now, if we talk about technology, if we talk, let's say about 10 years ago, this industry was not technology driven industry at all. We were going B2C approach. Customer was directly approaching the transporter. No technology involvement was there. No banking online transactions were there. But if you'll see the current transaction, online biddings are going on the contractual basis. We are taking contracts with the companies directly. And moreover, the most of the transport companies have their apps where you can book the vehicles of your choice on your own. Now, next is like globalization. Globalization, yes, we are trying to pace up with the globalization, like the other industry, global industries, ruling industries, logistic ones. But we are failing to do so. The reasons behind those are few government regulations. Basically, if you compare the infrastructure of the international other foreign countries with our countries, we are not having that sort of infrastructure which is supporting the logistic industries. Thanks to NHAI for giving us the good highways. Otherwise, previously there were broken roads which were deteriorating the situations of the vehicles before their age. But then now globalization, with the improving infrastructure, we are also heading towards the globalization of this industry. Last but not the least, definitely competition. We're working on the perfect competition situation where we hardly have a say. The trader, we can say customer is a king. So customer is creating the demand. Here, the prices, if you'll see the last 10 years scenario, the things are going that way that it is increasing the cost of the logistics sector a lot. Diesel prices and other government regulations are there, but we are bound that we cannot afford to increase because of this hardcore competition. We are not allowed to increase the freight to a certain extent. So that's why the revenue is getting eaten up due to these expenses, growing expenses, I should say. Rest Sumit will tell you about it.
लाइक टेक्नोलॉजी, मैं इसमें एक इनपुट करना चाहूँगा। मुझे अभी ध्यान में आया कि ईयर 1999 एंड 2000 में मैंने अपनी डैड का ट्रांसपोर्ट बिजनेस ज्वाइन किया था। तो उस समय क्या होता था कि थोड़े थोड़े गैप पे ढाबास और पेट्रोल पंप ऑनर से रिलेशन बना के रखे जाते थे, ताकि वो व्हीकल अगर वहां से गुजरे तो उसकी जो इंफॉर्मेशन है वो हमारे तक आए। और अब जो टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज हो गई है, आपको पता है जीपीआरएस सभी व्हीकल्स में इंस्टॉल हैं और ऑनलाइन बुकिंग्स हो रही हैं। और मोर ओवर उस टाइम फोन का इतना चलन नहीं था, मोबाइल तब स्टार्टिंग ही था, बट एक ड्राइवर के पास मोबाइल होना रिलायंस ने ही पॉसिबल किया। तो उस समय काफी हडल था ये, बट अब काफी चीजें स्मूथ हो गई। बाकी नेक्स्ट।
Now, here are few challenges which the logistic company is actually facing. I've talked about the ever increasing cost of transportation sector, increasing diesel prices, and the infrastructure is not supporting us, our vehicles are getting depreciated before their age. So these all things, moreover, endless list of taxes. And here I'll add on the harassment of the transporter on road, which is never being highlighted. I mean, transporter is always taken as a harsh person, that they are doing everything wrong. But the actual reality is the harassment they actually face on the road, the amount of bribes they give, that increase their cost a lot, and that is an unaccounting cost which is not showed anywhere, which we cannot show, but then we have to pay, and that is a part of our business. Then improving the business process, yes, we are working on improving our business process, and we are moving on all the technological, we are heading towards I mean, thanks to the new generation which is being very educated, and they are taking all the paths to, I mean, improve this business process. Then enhancing customer services. Definitely, we are providing the after sales services also in case any of the contingency. We are the transport industry is not like the previous one. We are providing the after sales services also in case of contingency. The transporters have a chain where they provide onload, the loading and unloading is being done on the highway, so that the safety of the goods is being taken care of. Then improve supply chain. Definitely the supply chain, finances, these are all the things which most of the people know. But here the two things which are impacting this situation, this logistics sector, is the driver shortage and the government regulations. Driver shortage, we are forced to work with the unskilled labor. In this sector we are not having the skilled labor. Like if you see other countries, they are having the programs to train the drivers before they are allowed to work for the transport companies. They are given special trainings. But here the provisions are always there, but they are undermined. Nobody is following that. A person who is having the HMV license can definitely drive a truck. So for the I mean, the implication of that the transporter has to face, and government regulations. Now this sector is the one which is highly in the clutches of government regulations. Government regulations are clutching this sector so much that it is I mean, the growth of this sector is being obstructed due to the ever changing government regulations. Nobody is actually facing, I mean, looking after the sector seriously. One government come, they apply their own regulations, and then they don't see what will be the implication of these regulations. The actual implications, Sumit can tell you much more about it, please.
सो मैं प्रैक्टिकल होके चलेंगे। मैं थोड़ा सा एग्जांपल लेके चलता हूँ यहाँ पे। इन द ईयर 2007-8 जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट ने सबसे पहले एक रेगुलेशन चेंज किया, जिसको हम बोलेंगे कि एक परमिट होता है हर एक व्हीकल को किसी भी स्टेट में जाने के लिए। तो 2007 से पहले हर एक स्टेट का एक सेपरेट परमिट होता था, जो एनुअली वो चार्ज करते थे। अगर आपको किसी भी स्टेट में जाना है तो आपको वो परमिट लेना पड़ता था। गवर्नमेंट ने 2007-8 में ये परमिट बंद कर दिए और उन्होंने एक सिंगल नेशनलाइज परमिट कर दिया। इसका इम्पैक्ट क्या हुआ कि कोई भी व्हीकल जो कश्मीर से सिर्फ दिल्ली तक ही आता था, अब वो कन्याकुमारी तक जाने लग गया। तो इसका इम्पैक्ट क्या आया कि डिमांड तो उतनी ही थी, बट अब जहाँ डिमांड होती थी वहाँ सप्लाई ज़्यादा पहुँच जाती थी, वहाँ व्हीकल्स ज़्यादा पहुँच जाते थे। तो जो मोनोपोली है, जो रेट्स जो फाइनलाइज होने हैं, वो कहीं न कहीं मैन्युफैक्चरर के हाथ में या बुकिंग ऑफिसेस के हाथ में चले जाते थे। तो 2007 और 8 का ये जो फेज था, ये तो डाउनफॉल फेज था। इसके बाद 10 से 11 तक ये धीरे-धीरे बढ़ने लगा। हमने इसमें क्या बोलूँ मैं आपको, अब इम्प्रूवमेंट भी आया, ठीक है, कहीं न कहीं अच्छा भी हुआ। इसके बाद फिर नेक्स्ट अगर हम बात करें तो नोटबंदी आ जाता है, जहाँ हम 2016 में पहुँच जाते हैं। यहाँ पे नोटबंदी आ गई और गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेशन की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो नोटबंदी का इम्पैक्ट सभी सेक्टर पे पड़ा, बट ट्रांसपोर्ट सेक्टर पे ज़्यादा पड़ा, क्योंकि उस समय 3 से 5 महीने के लिए सारे बिज़नेसेस बंद थे और ट्रांसपोर्ट बिज़नेस भी बंद था, बट ईएमआईज़ बंद नहीं थी। वर्कर्स की सैलरीज़ बंद नहीं थी। वो तो सभी सेक्टर में नहीं थी, बट यहाँ पे मेजर इम्पैक्ट था, ईएमआई बंद नहीं थी, क्योंकि यहाँ अगर वो व्हीकल रन नहीं होगा तो ईएमआई नहीं निकलेगी। तो वहाँ पे काफी जो सिंगल ऑनर्स थे या स्मॉल फ्लीट ऑनर्स थे वो धीरे धीरे शट हो गए। 2016 के बाद 2017 में यहाँ अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ, यूरो 3 व्हीकल्स होते थे जो 2016 तक और 17 तक रहे। मार्च में गवर्नमेंट ने उन्हें हटाने को कहा कि अब इसके बाद यूरो 4 ही व्हीकल बिकेंगे। उस साल अगर आप उठा के देखेंगे तो टाटा मोटर, आइशर, अशोक लीलैंड, इन्होंने मार्च के मंथ में पूरे साल में जितनी सेल नहीं करते, पिछले 4 सालों में जितनी सेल नहीं करी होगी, उतनी उन्होंने 1 महीने के अंदर सेल करी थी। आई स्टिल रिमेंबर, मुझे आज भी याद है 31 मार्च को मैं रात को 12 बजे तक ऑफिस में बैठा था और इंश्योरेंस इश्यू कर रहा था। उस दिन काफी व्हीकल बिके थे। इसका इम्पैक्ट क्या आया हमारे ऊपर या इस इंडस्ट्री पे? अगेन ओवरफ्लो हो गया व्हीकल्स का, बाजार में व्हीकल इतना आ गया, पर्टिकुलर डिमांड पे एक पर्टिकुलर कंसाइनमेंट के लिए डिमांड आती थी, तो वहां पे सप्लाई के लिए एक गाड़ी की जगह वहां पे 10 गाड़ियां खड़ी होती। तो जो अगर मैं कहूँ रेट्स को बढ़ना चाहिए था, वो उस हिसाब से बढ़े नहीं। उसके बाद मार्च खत्म होते होते, अप्रैल खत्म होते होते एक और बम फटा जो कि जीएसटी के रूप में आया। जीएसटी से ट्रांसपोर्टर्स को फायदा ही हुआ, इसके लिए कोई हर्ज नहीं, बट इसको समझने में जो मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हैं, जो फैक्ट्री ओनर्स हैं, उनको 2 से 3 महीने लग गए और उनका भी काम थोड़े टाइम के लिए बंद हुआ। इसका भी सिमिलर इम्पैक्ट आया ईएमआई पे और अदर वेजेस पे। 2017 में ही एक और चीज आई जिसने इस इंडस्ट्री को और डाउनफॉल कर दिया। यहाँ एक तो व्हीकल ओवरफ्लो हो चुके थे, जीएसटी आया, इसके बाद ई वे बिल भी आ गया। उसके बाद एक चीज और इंट्रोड्यूस हुई कि जो व्हीकल 15 टन तक का पेलोड लेता था या जो व्हीकल 25 टन तक का पेलोड लेता था, उनका पेलोड बढ़ा दिया गया, इंक्रीज कर दिया गया। उससे क्या हुआ, जहां 100 व्हीकल्स लग रहे थे वहां अब सिर्फ 90 व्हीकल ही लगे, क्योंकि वो उनकी कैपेसिटी बढ़ गई। तो ये भी एक इम्पैक्ट था। इससे हुआ क्या कि जो रीसेल वैल्यू थी ट्रकों की, वो और घट गई। वो मार्केट में अगर मैं बात करूं, बिल्कुल ना के बराबर कोई बायर थे ही, वो मार्केट बिल्कुल ही डाउनफॉल पे चली गई। इसी साल में एक और झटका आया जहां पे पेट्रोल और डीजल के प्राइसेस गवर्नमेंट ने फ्री कर दिए, डेली बेसिस पे कर दिए गए, जो कि इसका इम्पैक्ट हम आज भी देख रहे हैं, प्राइसेस इतने हाई हो चुके हैं। नेक्स्ट जो इम्पैक्ट अब जाके पड़ा कि ये एक चेन है, हर 6 साल या 8 साल के बाद एक डाउनफॉल आता है, और ये जो डाउनफॉल था 17-18 तक या 19 तक ही रहना था, और 20 में उम्मीद थी कि ये बढ़ जाएगा, बट उसी टाइम पे कोविड आ गया। कोविड के आने से 6 या 8 महीने अगर मैं बात करूं तो काफी हद तक अभी भी इम्पैक्ट है इसका। और हमारी इंडस्ट्री के अंदर काफी ऐसे स्मॉल ऑनर्स हैं, स्मॉल बिजनेस ऑनर्स हैं, फ्लीट ऑनर्स हैं, जो अपना काम धीरे 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 खत्म करते जा रहे हैं। सिर्फ बिग प्लेयर्स रह गए हैं इसके अंदर। रेस्ट राखी प्लीज।
Here, I would like to add few more things to this. GST introduction से हमारी जो unorganized sector चल रहा था, there was a step to make it organized, but there was a gray area of logistic industry which was being channelized by the gray area of the traders. What traders were doing, they were actually storing the goods and they were creating a fictitious demand for their goods. और वही फिक्टिशियस डिमांड वहां से आती थी और हमारे लॉजिस्टिक सेक्टर में भी एक फिक्टिशियस डिमांड क्रिएट होती थी, जिसकी वजह से हमारा जो फ्रेट था वो इंक्रीज होता था। बट ई वे बिल आने के बाद गवर्नमेंट ने स्टोरेज के लिए गोडाउन्स को ई वे बिल की एक्सपायरी का डेट दे दिया, 15 to 20 डेज का आई थिंक एक लिमिट दिया गया, जिससे ज्यादा आप गोडाउन में अपना आप प्रोडक्ट्स को अपने स्टोर नहीं कर सकते, जिसकी वजह से वो जो फिक्टिशियस डिमांड वाला था जो एक हमारी इंडस्ट्री के फ्रेट को बूम देता था, वो खत्म हो गया। देन जीएसटी आने के बाद एक और इम्प्लीकेशन आया कि जो न्यू ट्रक के प्राइसेस थे वो रिड्यूस हो गए, बिकॉज एक यूनिक टैक्स था, तो नए ट्रक के प्राइसेस रिड्यूस हो गए। तो जो रीसेल मार्केट थी ट्रक्स की, वो धीरे धीरे घटती गई, बिकॉज एवरीबडी वन हु इज गेटिंग द न्यू ट्रक एट द रिड्यूस रेट व्हाइल दे विल गो फॉर द रीसेल वन। उसके में भी एक इम्प्लीकेशन आया ऐसा कि जीएसटी ने एक तो कंफ्यूजन दिया, दूसरा हम लोग कहेंगे कि दिस इज अ कैपिटल इंटेंसिव इंडस्ट्री। तो एक्चुअल फैक्ट ये है कि बिफोर डीमोनेटाइजेशन लॉट्स ऑफ ब्लैक मनी वाज इन्वेस्टेड इन दिस मार्केट। तो वो जब ये डीमोनेटाइजेशन और जीएसटी आने लगा तो वो ब्लैक मनी धीरे धीरे एलिमिनेट होने लगी इस मार्केट से, विच ब्रॉट अ डाउनफॉल टू दिस लॉजिस्टिक इंडस्ट्री। एंड नाउ इट इज गोइंग ऑन द पेस ऑफ बीइंग ऑर्गेनाइज्ड, एंड नाउ ट्रांसपोर्टर्स हैव अंडरस्टूड कि बीइंग ऑर्गेनाइज्ड मींस अगर हम उसको एक प्रॉपर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वे में गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेशंस के अंदर चलते हैं, हम ऑनलाइन चैनल यूज करते हैं पेमेंट्स का, टैक्सेशंस के लिए हम टैक्सेशन प्रॉपर देते हैं, तो वो हमारे लिए बेनिफिशियल है। देन वी मूव आउट फर्दर। These are the few logistic. If we talk about the investment sector, these are the big shots of big logistic companies in India which are being listed. But this will not give you definitely, I'll say, ki ek actual picture if you expect from the movement of the stock. Definitely जो big factors demonetization था या GST था, वो थोड़ा बहुत आप चार्ट्स को देखेंगे तो that you can judge कि हाँ यहाँ पर कुछ तो हुआ था जो डिप्रेशन आया। बट ये जो कंपनीज है they have their diversified business also, so because of that they are not in the shortage of capital at all. तो उनके पास कैपिटल बहुत सारा है। जहां पर प्रॉब्लम आती है जो जिनके पास लिमिटेड कैपिटल है, जो ट्रांसपोर्टर्स सिर्फ लॉजिस्टिक चेन में चल रहे हैं और इतनी बड़ी कैपिटल इंटेंसिव इंडस्ट्री में उनको कोई जर्क झेलना पड़ता है, तो उनके लिए वो इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा है। और वो वाले ट्रांसपोर्टर हमारे 85% को कैप्चर करते हैं, जिसे हम अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर कह के बुलाते हैं। अगेन आई विल टॉक अबाउट द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ कोविड। कोविड से हम सबको पता है कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग केम टू एन हॉल्ट। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हॉल्ट पे आएगी तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन भी हॉल्ट पे आएगा, प्राइसिंग रिड्यूस हो गई, फ्रेट रिड्यूस हो गया, सप्लाई थी डिमांड नहीं था। देन अगेन इट वाज अ ग्लोबल सिनेरियो, तो एक्सपोर्ट्स इंपोर्ट्स दे ऑल वर अंडर द लॉकडाउन पीरियड, एवरीथिंग वाज स्टॉप्ड। सो हमारे पास एक मूवमेंट स्टॉप हो गया। वो पीरियड सबके लिए एक डिप्रेशन पीरियड था। वी कैन नॉट से वी आर द यूनिक वंस हु फेस दिस, but that implication, yes, our industry also, that was the depression of this industry, that COVID is major reason. but इतने सारे हम लोग के बैड इम्पैक्ट सुनने के बाद everybody will think कि क्यों ये सेक्टर को हम देखेंगे। रीजन इज व्हाई, व्हाट इज द फ्यूचर ऑफ दिस इंडस्ट्री? क्या इसमें कुछ ऐसा है कि हमें इन्वेस्ट करके कुछ मिलने वाला है? आई थिंक यस। अगर हम एक पॉजिटिव साइड देखें इस इंडस्ट्री की, पहला जैसे सुमित एडेड दैट एवरी इंडस्ट्री हैज अ चेन, तो जो डिप्रेशन चेन थी वो इसकी अब एंड होने वाली है। इफ एवरीथिंग गोज वेल वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट an increase of 9 to 10% within coming 1 to 2 years into this industry. Secondly, जो सेक्टर इतना अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड था वो अब धीरे धीरे एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की तरफ बढ़ रहा है। अदर थिंग इज बहुत सारी जो ऑक्सिलरी इंडस्ट्रीज है हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज के साथ, वो पहले अगर हमारे पर नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट आ रहा था, उन पे नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट आ रहा था, हम इफेक्ट हो रहे थे, हमारे पे आ रहा था, वो इफेक्ट हो रहे थे। बट अगर ये इंडस्ट्री ग्रो करती है, डेफिनेटली मेड इन इंडिया जो गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज आ रही हैं, हमारी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स विद इन इंडिया बढ़ रही हैं, हमारा डिमांड फॉर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन बढ़ रहा है, दैट इज गिविंग अ पॉजिटिव इंडिकेशन कि डेफिनेटली ये सेक्टर ग्रो होगा और बहुत अच्छे से ग्रो होगा। And if somebody wants to invest into this sector, yes, this will be the bright sector in the future. The only difference will be survival of the fittest, which we talk about when we study the event evolution theory. अब मार्केट में वही रहेगा जो इन सबको झेल सकता है और आगे बढ़ सकता है। The small players which were dragging this industry backwards will be eliminated from this sector, and that will be, I think, the positive part of this industry. Rest Sumit will add. I think there was some network problem with Sumit. He's not able to listen. Then and again, if you have any other questions, we have unlimited examples from this industry which we can quote. But from your side, if you still have some questions, because we are not the investors, we are from the logistics sectors. Apart from that, we are working as an insurance consultant to many of the logistic companies. So we are looking into the sector from both the side, as an entrepreneur and as a third party also. So we could analyze, thanks to the sector. I mean, sometimes we feel glad that we belong to this sector, so that reason being, when we move to the insurance sector, we are more, if we analyze our portfolio, we have more of commercial vehicle sector, which is dominating our portfolio. The reason for that being our inbuilt experience, which we can say, and that help us to understand the agony of the transporter, which they actually face when a vehicle is at halt, because he has to face the pressure of EMIs and other repairing costs. I mean, lots of things are there. So rest, Sumit, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can add on more things about it.
So as an insurance advisor, जैसे राखी ने बताया, इस इंडस्ट्री को हम शुरू से देख रहे थे. इसके साथ साथ ये एड ऑन हुआ हमारे लिए. ईयर 2004-5 में मैंने ये स्टार्ट कर दिया था. इवन अगर मैं बात करूं तो ईयर 2000 में ही इंश्योरेंस के साथ मैं डील करने लग गया था. कुछ कुछ काम शुरू कर दिया था मैंने. और अगर मैं बात करूं तो ट्रांसपोर्टर्स के साथ डीलिंग शुरू से ही होती थी. इसका इम्पैक्ट यही आया कि इन केस अगर कोई एक्सीडेंट होता था तो वहाँ पे फर्स्ट स्टेज से जहाँ पे स्पॉट सर्वे से लेके फाइनल सर्वे तक, इन केस अगर कोई कैजुअलिटी हो गई तो वहाँ थर्ड पार्टी क्लेम भी आता है और MSCT का केस भी आता है. तो वो सारे हर्डल्स को पार करने के लिए हमने धीरे धीरे काम करना शुरू करा. और अब जाके हमारे पास एक स्पेशल टीम है जो इन केस अगर कोई क्लेम आता है तो उसको सिंगल हैंडेडली वो सेटल करते हैं वेरी फर्स्ट स्टेज से. I think
If I may ask
yes,
a simple question from our perspective, what are those 2 or 3 companies that you find best from the corporate governance point of view? That the management is really ethical and very, very good and experienced, and you see because of the management itself, the company has a bright future. Some of the listed companies I'm talking about.
So you can always go for VRL Logistics, and TCI is always a favorite player in this sector. So apart from all that, I find these 2 companies which are doing well apart from all the hurdles being faced by the logistics sector. If you see the charts also, you'll see that they are into up and down movement. They are not the stagnant ones. After being so many things happening into this sector, they are still growing. So definitely my choice will be TCI and VRL Logistics.
Thank you.
the
And now
reason
one or two
behind-
companies, sorry, one or two companies that you think are upcoming and may become a good competition in next 5 to 10 years for these existing players.
मोर ओवर सर, मैं ऐड ऑन करूंगा. TCI के साथ हमने पीछे काम भी किया है. उनके फ्लीट्स हम इंश्योर करते थे, अब नहीं कर रहे हैं. एंड विकास रोड लाइन स्टार्टिंग जब इसका हुआ तो ये चाइना से टायर इंपोर्ट करते थे. और यहाँ पे इनका एक इसके अलावा भी एक अलग से सेगमेंट है जो यहाँ पे इनके टायर सेल करता है, इंपोर्टेड टायर्स. तो इन दोनों के साथ कहीं ना कहीं कनेक्शन रहा है. तो इनका नाम लेने का शायद ये भी एक रीजन है. राखी.
So definitely we can suggest you those company. For those we have worked, and we are for sure that they have
Of
the good
course.
management. So we have worked with TCI, we have worked with VRL Logistics. And moreover, these 2 companies, and if you talk about the upcoming companies, Om Logistics is about to list in the industry, and then Om
Also.
Logistics has a very good management.
Yes.
Although it's a sole proprietorship or the business, I mean, a family business sort of company, but still, if you see, the Varuna is there and Om Logistics are there, which are the 2 names which actually are dominating this time. I mean, the logistic industries in India. And then we have few more transport logistics companies, but still they are private limited companies, so they are not listed. So they are of no relevance from your side.
Sure.
So these two companies are the startup. They're about to list. Home Logistics, you can search on Google also about those companies. And we have worked with these companies, and they have a very good management, very organized management.
Organized.
Perfect. Thank you. Any question
Rakhi
from
ma'am,
anybody
Sumit
else?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Rakhi
Yeah,
ma'am, Sumit
आपने
sir, I have
गति
one question.
yeah आपने गति you haven't listed gati in these. What is the reason?
Ma'am, Gati is an express service, although it is a part of logistics, but Gati only deals with the express service. So it has a limited scenario. Definitely Gati is a good choice, but sir asked me about all those companies. So I told sir honestly that I'll always name those companies with which I have worked on. And
अच्छा.
on those I can rely.
So which are VRL and TCI आपने बोला.
Yeah, VRL and TCI has a good management and good perspectives also. The way they are working in, they have the good management style also. And moreover, they are working with the good companies. Overall, they are working on the contractual basis. And if you see overall perspectives, Pan India, they are working, and they have the good contracts with the different companies. So the revenue will definitely grow for these companies.
Okay.
Simran, you wanted to ask something?
He wanted to ask one question.
So, Rakhi ma'am and Sumit sir.
I
how
would
about-
like to ask something.
So, Kanwar, how
Thank
about
you for
Mahindra
very-
Logistics?
Yeah,
How about Mahindra Logistics?
Mahindra Logistics, yes, it's a big name. And moreover, a one to be relied on because they have diversified business. Always, all those companies are the reliable ones which have their diversified business also, so that in case any downfall occurs in this company, they can adjust their revenues from those companies. Always, this is the capital intensive industry. So obviously, the company which has a good capital in their bags will rule this sector. So definitely, Mahindra is a good name, and all those companies, if you talk about Adani also, that is, they are big brands. But if you'll see VRL, it is growing. So if you want to earn, as I don't have much knowledge about stocks, but what I feel is, whatever I have heard from Atul sir, all those companies which have already grown, so they will give you a little precise margin. But those companies which are growing, you have a good perspective to earn good money in those. So VRL, if you'll see, it's a cheap stock. It's not very, expensive stock. And whatever I've seen, apart from all these hurdles, it has not touched the bottom. So you can see the charts for that also. If you want, you can just share the screen. I'll stop my screen sharing, and you can share the charts for a few of the companies. And you'll see all those years like 2016, 17, after so much of hurdles. Sorry, just a moment.
All right, we have Gaurav. He's raised his hand. Gaurav, would you like to ask your question?
Yeah, thank you both for the presentation. I had a question on the cold storage logistics. I was very bullish after the vaccine supply was announced, and I was thinking that Snowman Logistics and companies like that will have good returns in investment. So just curious if you have any view on those logistic companies.
सर मैं इसमें कुछ इनपुट करूंगा. जो कोल्ड स्टोरेज लॉजिस्टिक्स हैं वो अभी ज्यादातर पेरिशेबल गुड्स में चल रहे थे, या जैसे आपने बताया मेडिसिन में चल रहे हैं, बट उनकी जो मार्केट है बहुत लिमिटेड है. हाँ, वो ग्रोइंग है क्योंकि वहां पे जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, यहाँ पे एक डिमांड के लिए 4 व्हीकल ऑलरेडी खड़े होते थे, तो उसके लिए ऐसा नहीं है. वहां पे डिमांड एंड सप्लाई इक्वल है, या मैं बोलूं डिमांड ज्यादा है और सप्लाई कम है. तो हाँ, वो अगर आप देख रहे हैं तो वो काफी अच्छा है.
So is there any company that we know would give good returns in the short term, given vaccine supply is the requirement right now?
So एक Snowman Logistics है. Sorry, before Atul sir speak. एक Snowman Logistics है which will supply, I think, Sputnik.
Yeah, so I was invested in it for quite some time, but I'm not seeing any big movements there. Like it's revolving around the ballpark of 50 to 60 price for a long time, like 2-3 months.
See, ma'am, actually, I would like to add on something for this. I mean, as we have discussed in last few classes, I still remember sir says news comes and it gets digested. So that news of supplying Sputnik has been digested by the stock. So only the good factor is it is supplying Sputnik. Apart from that, have you seen the other business prospectus for that company? So being from this sector, I would advise you for any logistic company, if you're opting for, analyze its complete portfolio for what companies it is working for. Never ever go for that logistic company which is being dependent on one single contract, because Sumit has given you the example of a transporter who was working majorly for Maruti Udyog, and if that contract is not there, I mean, you are finished. Your market will liquidate. We have been into this sector for lots of years. I've seen the sector since my childhood. My father, my grandfather, all are from this industry. So always rely the company which is having a diversified portfolio. Never rely on the company which is moving around just one contract, big contract. The news will come, that will get digested in the stock, and then again, what you have for the growth, you are talking about the growth. Here we are all are sitting because we want to grow our money. So if we want to grow our money, we have to see the perspectives. Apart from this, what other perspectives are there with the company? And if you see other logistic company like TCI is there, Adani is there, they're diversified business. Express business is there. Then transport, TCI is dealing with express business. TCI is dealing with transport. TCI is dealing with shipping. I mean, that they are picking the goods from the shipping yards also. So they are providing n number of services. They have their own warehouses. Analyze the assets, analyze the services, analyze the portfolio, and then invest. That is my personal advice. Maybe I'm wrong, but that only I can fetch from my experience for you.
No, Rakhiba, you're absolutely right. Because if you go through the fundamentals of Snowman, it has absolutely negative PAT. It also has a negative EBITDA. It also has a negative net income. It has a negative operating income, and it has a negative gross income. So at all levels, it's a company that's just bleeding. And maybe it is because it's a new firm, or it's a new setup in the Indian ecosystem. But the problem is, if there is a business that is bleeding from, right from its GOP or right from its OP, then the problem is, as an investor, it will never have a free cash flow for you in the near, at least for next 3 or 4 years or 5 years. And especially, we all understand that logistics is a capital intensive business. So if it does not even have so what this shows it that the company does not have pricing power. When we have a negative EBIT, we are saying the company does not have pricing power. So a company which does not has a pricing power, I think, is not investor friendly in a medium to long term analysis. So I think even if it is transporting Sputnik, the problem, it might only affect the sentiment that we might have for the firm, but I don't see a significant increase in earnings, because other things that they were transporting using the cold storage facilities or the cold logistics that they had have gone down or are not significant. Atul sir, over to you.
Yeah, just one thing, guys. Whenever you receive any news about any stock, about any order, just tell yourself you are already late.
Sorry,
okay? You're not the first one to receive that news. You're not at the forefront of discussions in those companies. You're not privy to that privileged information. If you have received that information, you are already late. So there is absolutely no chance, no point in trading or investing in those companies. When you receive a news, you're already late.
Sir, I receive a news. मैं अभी डिलीवरी के सीनियर मैनेजर कमर्शियल मिस्टर कबीर किरानी से मिला था. उनके वेयर हाउस की इंश्योरेंस के लिए। तो उनसे जब बात हुई तो दे सेड कि हम लोग अब जल्दी ही लिस्ट होने वाले हैं। एंड उनकी एक न्यूज़ जो थी वो मैं शायद यहाँ शेयर करूँ। उन्होंने मुझे बोला कि फेडेक्स का जो इंडिया वाला पार्ट है वो भी परचेज कर रहे हैं।
Okay.
तो ये न्यूज़ है, अगर वो लिस्ट होते हैं या ये सब कुछ होता है तो वो बात की बात है, बट मेरे पास ये न्यूज़ आई है।
Perfect. So,
For,
so उनसे बात करके देखते हैं अनलिस्टेड शेयर अगर वो बेचना चाहें अभी से. There are so many companies
सर
that
उनका
are selling and buying unlisted
IPO
shares.
IPO लिस्ट होने वाला है क्योंकि फिडेलिटी इंडिया हैज इन्वेस्टेड इन इट। ज्योति दागर एसोसिएट्स हैव डन देयर न्यू IPO done, so it will be in 22 or maybe 21 end.
Perfect. So Sumit sir is known to them now. Sumit sir will let us know if those guys are selling unlisted shares. I mean, there are hundreds of companies doing right now. So if they're interested in selling off some shares before being listed, we can probably have some buyers from our clubs. We are already doing trading in unlisted shares. But guys, I will repeat the same thing. अगर आपको किसी कंपनी के बारे में भी पता लगता है, just tell yourself you are late. Don't put money. If you have received the news like Rakhi mentioned, every single news is digested within 24 hours and price is balanced. So if you're thinking next day I'm going to buy and it will go up, it's already done its part. You're putting your money in something and get stuck. So news, start discounting news, or just don't discount news because market is discounting it every single time in 24 hours most of the time. So don't buy or sell or trade on news, please. Sorry, Simran wanted to ask something for some time. Simran, are you still there?
Sir, I've mentioned my
Yes,
question.
put it on the chat box. So he's driving. I'll read it out for
All right.
us.
Yes, please.
So his question is, how do transportation or logistic companies acquire market share? That is, how do we have more and more customers from the same pie of customers that are operating first? And the second is, how do we scale the business? How do we grow the business? So probably how, if someone has 20 trucks or 20 trailers, how does he go to the 25th or the 26th? So that is the question. Simran, just correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, sir, I would like to answer this. I mean, I've seen this long journey since my childhood, as I've told you. My grandfather, in fact, started this business with only a handful of trucks. And it's been a long journey. And now my father's company is owning more than 1,000 trucks. So it is a gradual process. You cannot grow this company overnight. And you need lots and lots of experience and patience to inculcate this. You have to inculcate lots of patience and courage to bear the wrath of this industry, I should say, because once this industry started giving you negative implication, most of the players exit from this industry. So you have to have patience. कि आज नेगेटिव टाइम आया है, आज मेरा ट्रक हॉल्ट पे है, एक अच्छा टाइम भी आएगा जब ये मुझे अर्न करके देगा. Sumit knows this. He was just 18 when he joined the transport business, and he was just given 2 trucks, and now he's a owner of more than 35 trucks. So I mean, he did, and moreover, he don't want to expand that because of certain reasons. But if you'll see the journey, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. You have to have patience, you have to have skills, and moreover, a courage to bear all the contingency. You will see on-road accidents. You have to face court cases. बहुत कुछ होता है इस इंडस्ट्री में. आधी रात को you are on your feet 24/7. If you want to grow this business, you have to be on your feet. Trust me, trust my words. This is one of the difficult industry to work on. And moreover, I want to add one more point. Like you just mentioned one industry which is being getting a contract to transport Sputnik. See, these big industry, they are very smart people. I've worked with many logistic companies as an insurance consultant, as a normal consultant also. I've seen, they're very smart people. They know how to exploit transport. So I should not use the word, but they are finding the scapegoats. on which they can transfer the load of their insurance, their other expenses. And now they know that this company is an undermined company. It is not having a good background. One big news can, change that company's perspective. So definitely that company will run after them. But if you see the big, strong logistic company that will work on their own terms, we will not get back after these big companies give us work, because our work is not dependent on their one contract. We have lots of other contracts for which we are working for. So never ever go for those single contracts, because they are very smart people. They will find the weak companies, they will give them the contract, because they know these companies need their support, and they will work on their conditions. And these logistic companies cannot grow. We need to be diversified. If we need to grow in logistic, we have to diversify our portfolio. Not even logistic. If you see if you study the entrepreneurship, every time, we are being taught that don't put your eggs into a single basket. We need to diversify. So same goes with the logistic industry also. So again, I'll say, don't go by news, don't go by anything, go by your wise brain, which is being gifted to us by the God, and analyze each and everything. Even if you get a news that this company has signed a good contract with a big FMCG or any other company, then also if you get to have a contractual copy, go through the clauses. As I've given you that I was working with a company which has to face lots of implication when they were working with HUL, but that company was a big company. And then when the next contract came, then they put on their own bids. And that HUL was forced to work with them, because they were habitual of getting the good services from that logistic company. So HUL came to their knees, I should say, and they accepted all their conditions, and they were ready to work. The
With
logistic
higher rate,
themselves
with higher
came to that company, and they said, okay, we want to work after, we are ready with all your conditions. Now go with that company which is working on their own conditions, not on the condition of the person who is giving them the demand.
सिमरन, मैं आपका जो सवाल था उसका एक छोटा सा जवाब दूंगा सिंपल वे में। अगर आपको ट्रक ग्रो करने हैं तो 1:1 की रेशियो जो है वो कभी भी काम नहीं आएगी। जैसे कि एक ट्रक फ्री है और एक ट्रक पे लोन चल रहा है, तो वो आपको एवरेज ही रखेगा। जहाँ आपके 2 ट्रक फ्री हैं और एक ट्रक पे लोन है, तब आप शायद अर्न भी कर रहे हैं और उसके साथ साथ आप ग्रो भी कर रहे हैं। सिंपल सा तरीका है समझने का।
Perfect. Very useful, guys. And if nothing else, we have already overshot our time. So thank you very much, Rakhi and Sumit. I think it was very, very informative. I learned a lot of things today about the industry, and I've got at least 2 tips. So now we can research on those 2 or 3 stocks and decide when is the right time and for how long we can trade in that. So thank you very much, both of you. It was
Thank
really,
you so
really
much,
good.
sir,
Thank you, sir.
giving us such an opportunity to speak about this industry, which we have never gone before. For logistics, at least, we have been called for the first time. When Sumit told me sir wants to hear about the logistic industry, I said, you mistaken, he must be talking about insurance. And no, he wants to talk about logistics.
Just one last question.
Yeah, sure.
Was he working for your father when he was 18?
No, he
No,
was
no.
having an independent company. In fact, we got married because of his profession. Our companies were having the business
मेरे
directly.
फादर का बुकिंग ऑफिस था और